have the main thing I want, which is a Retina display. That's a new display on the iPhone.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it's got twice the resolution as a regular display.
You are the biggest Apple fanboy ever.
It doesn't have a Retina display.
I gotta have every Apple product that's ever been
I got the iPad, the iPhone.
You know why I didn't
iMac.
buy it? Because it doesn't have a fucking arm that comes out and jerks me off.
Oh no!
But you can carry it. You can carry it into your bathroom and jerk off.
Portable.
You know what's crazy though? If I think about it, back in the day, right? All these computers were heavy, dude. And imagine trying to beat off like with it. I remember me back in the day, right? Me with my dad, dude. We'd go to freaking Circuit City.
No, it was different back then. It was like CompUS. It was even before that.
Yeah.
It was before all that shit. It was like Radio Shack. It was before all that, too.
It was Super Walmart.
Tandy computers.
I remember our first computer. Whenever I moved to America, we went to Circuit City and we walk around. I'm a little Indian kid and I see all these. And if you look at it now, I was just thinking about it the other day and just laughing in my head because now the computers are these sleek things. You can't open them up. They're real thin. The screen is built. Back when I was like 12, 13-year-old, just moved to America, it was a freaking square box, dude.
Yeah.
And you could unscrew the screws in the back, slide it open. It looked like the inside of the hood of a car. And you could actually reach in and grab stuff. And I just remember looking around like, wow. And computers were like, our first computer was like $3,000. It was a 486 SX25.
That's what I had.
That's
with
a pretty
100,
fucking decent
170
computer
megs
hard drive.
of hard drive.
I had a 60 megabyte hard drive. And I remember I put this game called Lynx. It was a golf game.
I know what that is.
Yeah, me too.
And you would have to save your game. And the save game file was like
On a disc.
600 kilobytes. And my dad would be like, don't save your game. You're eating up hard drive. So I was only allowed to save one game, and I had to overwrite the save game every time. But yeah, I remember going and seeing these amazing computers, and now you look back on it, there were just these clunky boxes that always broke down. Like now, the power switch on my iMac is like this incredible. The power switch has actual circuits in there.
Apple product.
It's got like a microchip in the power switch. Back when we first bought our computers. The power switch was like an actual like light switch. You pressed it and it would go off and on. It was an actual like electronic circuit.
You were like worried about being shocked. It's like
it was cool though again because I remember my dad. Actually, it was more like this. But I remember like my dad would run in on me and like if I was looking at porn I could just reach in and turn it off on time. It was like flicking a switch. Nowadays computers you gotta hold it down for like 8 seconds to turn it off.
Mid-jerk cancellation.
Yeah, your dad walks in, he sees the porn on the screen and
It
he's still
almost
holding
went-
down the power.
Do you think
Bust a load in your face. Fuck.
Felt so good I couldn't stop.
Dizzle, do you think if you went back in time, you'd even be able to jack off with, like, say, like a modem? Remember how slow modems were dialing up? Like,
who
if you
didn't
had to
jerk
go,
off to that shit?
No, but I'm saying if you had to go back in time, do you think it'd even be possible for you to sit there and wait,
Yes.
like, for a picture to come up,
Dude,
like,
I
It's a
was
naked picture, dude.
like a minute and a half? But okay,
Yes.
look at what we're used to. We got like we got you pouring all this.
People nowadays, like
Yeah,
kids
could you
nowadays, have it easy. when
Jack
it comes
off to
jacking
one
off.
picture that takes 30 minutes to load.
Yeah. Look at those final pixels. You're like, yes.
There's the
Oh
nipple.
my god! Okay. She's hot. All right, let's see if she's got some tits. She's got some tits. She's got a dick.
Let me say, I don't think our listeners know what we're talking about, especially younger listeners.
Yeah.
But guys like 30 years old and shit, back in the days when we were like 15, 16, 17 jacking off, dude, we would not just we would not type in www.youporn.com. There was no such thing
That
as the
did not
internet.
exist.
Nope.
There was a thing called a BBS.
No,
And a
GIFs.
BBS. No, BBS was the bulletin board system,
Yep.
dude.
You dialed into it. You
Let me
called them up.
explain
Yeah.
what a bulletin board system is.
Can you
It's
play-
a super pervert dude
No.
sitting in his house and he's got a computer filled with porn. And it's not like, it's kind of like servers and stuff now. But back then it was a guy on his Pentium 1, like with the modem hooked up, and you would dial in and actually your phone would ring and connect to his computer. Your computer to his computer, no one else on there. So like, there was a list of BBS boards in Houston, and I'd keep calling them because like one person at a time could get on, right? So if you're connected to his computer,
Well,
it's busy.
all the big shots had like 2 lines.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
there were guys with 2 lines, and like before the internet came out, there were guys ultra perverts in their house, dude. They had 40 lines hooked up, so 40 guys could download porn off them, dude. And you'd call them like this. It'd just be like,
pervs.
if you wanted porn, this is what it took. And you just wait, dude. Waiting with your heart on.
It's the sound of a boner.
Starts getting a Pavlovian response. Okay, I'm still my heart now. Oh yeah, the static.
Coming through the
Static. You're just waiting, dude, and your modem is trying to connect. And I started like 2400 baud, dude, which was the slowest shit, dude.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even possible to look at a picture.
And the thing with these bulletin board systems, like they had a time limit. So because it's one person calling at a time, they didn't want a guy just on all day. And a lot of times your phone connection was so bad it'd hang up and another dude would dial in right there. So you'd be mid jerk, dude. And then your phone line would get fucked up and you'd hang up and some other dude would take your spot.
That's probably where cockblock came from.
So pretty much now you're left with a hard on and blue balls.
Star 5-2.
So a lot of times you'd be down, and pretty much you would see you couldn't even see a file. You would see name of the file. It'd say like Pamela Anderson 123, and you'd see the size.
Yeah, you'd have to gamble. There's no thumbnail.
Exactly. Man. You'd be like, all right, man, 300 kilobytes, 2400 baud. That's approximately a 12-minute download, dude. For one. And you would see the lines coming of the porn, dude, one by one. Or some of them, the GIFs would pixelate in, like, slowly. It'd be like a fuzzy picture, so you could beat off better to that. You would just, if it was the other way, dude, when the lines came in one at a time, you're just hoping her titty's at the top of the picture. You hope it's a short chick.
I think the only way to really have done that was to just kind of like, queue up the files and just let them download them
overnight. Yeah, I'd have to do that.
You couldn't like log in and have them just line by line come in.
There were these things called Playboys. Those are really easy to buy.
Yeah, but
you got to stash.
Nothing beats going onto some pervert's home computer, and he's got all this porn for you to download, dude. BBS's bulletin board systems.
I was far nerdier than that.
Miss Kitty's Corner. That was the top bulletin board I used to go to.
Dude, I had dial-up Unix connections. I was so much beyond like BBS's at that point. I would call up. You get on FTP. FTP was a big deal. Yeah, I guess it still is in Unix, but you could like so much more shit available on there. So much better than BBS's.
I remember I went to 9600 baud.
I was like, so fast.
Oh, so much faster. Then I was slow, dude. Everybody got 14.4K. All my friends and neighbors.
That's where it started becoming a little interesting.
Yeah, it was faster.
That's where it became.
You can get maybe 4 pictures in an hour.
Oh yeah.
Really pixelated, horrible pictures. But
except if you're a real perv, you save this shit onto a disc, and now you got all the discs. They're ready to go.
I was beating off on my dad's computer, dude. It was like beat off and delete, beat off and delete.
He probably had his secret stash.
Dude, and my dad was shady, dude. He had some program that could check your deleted files, dude. He undeleted some porn of mine and called me, and what the fuck is this?
Was he really relaxed when he called you?
Good point.
I had to delete and go into his undelete program and delete those files too.
Dizzle, where'd you get this picture? I like it.
What's the phone number to this BBS?
I like this one.
But I remember everybody got 14.4K, dude, and like we'd play Duke Nukem and shit online.
Yeah.
And back in the day, if you wanted to play someone online, you would actually have to dial their fucking computer.
You'd have
with your computer. You'd be the same shit, dude. And you just hope it connected.
I bet you that space in front of your computer was awfully slippery.
So this is me like, hey, Brad, you want to come over tonight and we'll play some Duke Nukem? And then I would have to connect. And you got to understand, this fucking modem shit is loud, dude. It's not like just a silent connection, man. It fucking fills up your whole house with this kind of
if you're
sounds.
smart, you'd know how to get into the programming and turn it down.
Oh, well. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
If you're an ultra perv.
And the great thing about this
I prefer
was
stealth perv.
Stealth perv.
The worst thing, if you had 9600 baud and your friend had 14.4K, dude.
Yeah, you slowed his ass
He'd
down.
have a fucking advantage over you because he's way faster.
No.
He'd slow down too. He'd be all jerky.
Yeah.
But he'd still whoop your ass in the game because he'd be smoother on his end.
Dude, I remember playing Doom, and I would be playing by myself, and I'd be thinking, oh, man, I'm pretty good. And I was in an orchestra at the time, and I remember this one kid, he played online with a lot of other people, and he's like, man, I'll bet you $10 or some amount of money that you won't even kill me one time, and I'll kill you 10 times. I was like, bullshit, I'll bet you that. And I never played anybody in a head-to-head game. And we got on there, I called him up, went through the whole process. Man, I didn't even see him. He killed me 10 times. That was when I realized.
Those are the worst, man. You just
holy
keep getting
shit.
killed the moment you respawn.
God,
yeah,
I never
right.
saw him.
Respawn. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, man,
chance.
these modems really like beating off was a chore, dude. Because I had 14.4K, dude. Finally. And then where I
Nothing's a
lucked
chore.
out, when I lucked out, man, I got that 56K right when it was time for me to upgrade. My dad shows up with 56K, dude. Imagine going from 14.4 kilobytes a second to 56. That shit was like 4 times as fast. It was amazing.
Now
And
you're talking.
I was the only motherfucker on the block had 56K for a good 8 months, dude. I was king of the fucking neighborhood.
It totally negated it.
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
everybody connected to it didn't matter.
What's funny is 56K now is like nothing, man. It's like
Yeah.
billion times faster. The internet right now.
Hey, where America's at as far as bandwidth compared to the rest of the world, we're way behind. I mean, compared to Korea. And
Oh,
a lot of
absolutely.
other- We're so behind.
Absolutely. The Chinese are probably sitting around with iPad 2s for all their children in class right now.
Well, their bandwidth to their.
Like
I
how
don't know if
fast
they
their
all.
connection
It's
is.
just the connections, man, are
Super
unbelievably
Oh, yeah.
fast.
super
Like
fast.
we
Yeah.
have.
Their cities are wired for that shit.
Yeah,
dude.
no,
Come on.
our internet's terrible.
But I remember having to beat off with this 56K modem. And I didn't have a computer back when I was like 15, 16, right? There was a family computer downstairs right next to my parents'
What was your
room.
frequency like per day?
It got to like a daily thing to where I would have to I'd have to wait till my parents fell asleep around 10, and then I would have to sneak down,
Dude,
right?
So right.
Dude, imagine this, dude. You're 16-year-olds having to sneak down to beat off. Right now, everybody has a computer. Like, computers are $200 Back then, they were like $3,000, right?
You could beat off on your cell phone if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I have to sneak downstairs where my dad sleep, right? And like cover myself with some kind of towel or something. It's his office. And this is what happens right before you beat off, dude. Quiet house, right? And then your dad's asleep. You're trying not to fucking disturb him. You're trying to be sneaky about it.
This is the time where you put a towel on the back of the computer.
So you would do that every single
Every
day,
night, dude.
Every night.
Well, I had to be like smart about it because at first my dad would run out fucking pissed, dude. Dude, I have to sleep. You're waking me up, motherfucker. And he would just start whooping my fucking ass, dude. And the first time it came as a shock, dude. I was like, he would just fucking run out. He would run out of his room and just start whooping my ass because I woke him up and he's trying to sleep, right? And so I realized there's no way I can beat off because he's gonna fucking run out and catch me, right? So I started getting sneaky about it. I would tell him I'm playing my friend in fucking Duke Nukem, okay? So he'd run. First couple times he'd run out all pissed, and I used to hate that, man. My dad would stand in front of my computer and just watch, dude. Even to this day, I hate it because he would be trying to catch me doing some shit shady, and I'd have to alt tab between windows and shit. I'd hear the door open, and you alt tab so it switches windows real quick. And my dad would just stand there waiting for me to alt tab back because he could read kind of the bottom of the window.
Thing, yeah.
He'd see something like Samantha something, and he's just like, finally he'd get tired and leave. But I would actually be playing Duke Nukem for a couple weeks, so he'd run out and he'd see Duke Nukem, right? So then he got kind of bored of it. One day, there I go, man, fucking modem connecting again. This time I was really beating off. I'd gone like a good maybe 3 months beating off, right? And he'd gotten used to it, sleeping all day in this suit. One day he hears this fucking connection, dude. Runs out fucking pissed, dude. I'm in mid-beat off, dude. Mid-beat off, my dad runs out thinking I'm playing Duke Nukem. That was a fucking ass whooping right there, man. But yeah, God, telling you, man, computers have come a long way, and you got to.
Yes, they have.
It sucks, man. Steve Jobs is this visionary, great guy, and he's dying, man. He's dying of cancer, and he's
yeah, it
getting
puts
all
life
thin.
in perspective, man.
I'm
I
sure there's gonna
wonder
be
if
an iPad
I
Yeah,
wonder
but
if-
the cool thing is he leaves behind a lot.